HollaEx is a platform that is incredibly developer friendly, and in this video we're going to investigate one aspect of this, in how both operators and users can create API access keys, and in turn use these keys to interact with the API library. First up, let's take a quick look at the HollaEx API docs themselves. This gives an extensive list of the API endpoints and what they do. At present, 2 libraries support 3 languages that will let us interact with this API. CCXT is a popular crypto library that can support Node.js, Python and PHP, but what we'll be focusing on for this video is the HollaEx Node library. This Node.js library will allow us to set up logic easily and has an extensive amount of documentation, all of which is linked below in the description. One of the most important aspects of creating automated scripts is the difference between admin and user scripts. Admin scripts are those that utilize an API key generated via the admin account and gain access to all the functionality of the API library. Let's first look at how to create one of these admin keys and then the options we have with them. To start with, log into the Exchange's admin account, head to the operator controls, general and security, and scroll to the bottom to this API key section. Simply hit generate and go through the steps. Add the IP of whatever IP you'll be running scripts on. This can be edited or added to later. And finally, verify with your email and authenticator code. Instantly the key will be made and ready to use. It is vital at this point to make a note of the secret key, as on page refresh this will be obscured, and so ensure to grab it now. You will notice that we have a few options presented. By default, the key will have read access, meaning it can obtain information about the exchange, but not change it. To allow this changing, hit the right check mark, verify and save. Let's see now how we can use these keys. First, let's create a folder to make some test scripts. With this folder created, jump into it in the terminal and run npm install and npm install HollaX node lib. Now we can start up. I'm going to use Visual Studio Code to write up a quick script that will show me the users on the exchange. The structure is fairly simple. At the top, we import the HollaX node library itself. In the next block, we provide the authentication from the keys we just generated, as well as the API URL of the exchange. This will simply be the URL used with your exchange, with /API added to the end, as you can see in my script. With these correctly entered, we now have access to all the admin functions alongside all the user functions. So this is a simple script. We're going to create a user variable and then run the get exchange users command and then log all these users to the console. Following this block, sort out the error handling. Again, very simple. And finally, at the bottom, we're going to call this app function. Let's run it in the terminal with node. So we get a nicely formatted list of up to 10 of the users on the exchange. This script just required the read checkbox. So now let's do something with that write permission. Let's expand the script and have it also add a user. So add in create exchange user function. Following that, we'll get the user list again. Running this again and we see the new user has been added. But if we changed the admin API key back to not having write permissions and ran the same script, we would have a 403 error here. Let's look at WebSocket commands that an admin has access to. These will give real-time updates of activity on the exchange by entering admin as the parameter. With this admin WebSocket, we can monitor deposits and withdrawals, so let's see this in action. In the top left, I have my HollaX Pro account, and in the bottom right is my exchange where the API key was made. First, I'm just going to deposit some USDT onto the exchange. And on completion, we see this output printed, telling us about the deposit. And for the sake of completeness, let's do it in reverse and perform a withdrawal. Moving away from the admin, getting access to the user-specific API is very similar. Here I am logged in as a user, and to make a user key, I just need to hop on over to security on the sidebar and generate it in the same way as we did before. Editing is the same process as it was for the admin, so let's give full access to this user. With this key, we can look at either the public APIs of the exchange or user-specific API functions. So same process as before, user-read.js and set it up. And we'll read one thing from the public exchange information, get ticker, and we'll read one thing from the specific user's account, get user. So we'll set this up, let it run, and voila, we see all that information printed. Let's make a write-specific user file, create order, and we'll fill in the parameters as we see them in the docs. These scripts we have investigated are of course incredibly simple and not too exciting, but the only limit in using the API library is your imagination. For example, you as an admin could link logic on one site, perhaps the sign up form on your project's main page, such that when a user signs up on the main site, they would automatically have an exchange account created as well. Or a user could create a script that monitors the WebSockets, getting real-time price information, and set up logic based on this real-time price information, such as creating orders. Hopefully, through these simple examples, we have shown the foundation of how to get started and opened up a whole new world of exchange automation. Thanks for watching.